Toxic positivity. Toxic positivity. It'll solve all your problems. Of course. Just get a great big banner of toxic positivity and just slap it on over that landfill. You know, that'll make the big difference. It'll fix everything. No harm, no foul. What is toxic positivity? Toxic positivity is doing something like, for example, I don't know, using affirmations to staple a fake smile over a bunch of really fucked up shit that you've got to learn how to attend to. Learn what's going on in there. And start figuring it out and learning how to get it cleaned up. This affirmations thing. And look, affirmations can be helpful and useful. I'm not knocking that, but if you've got a landfill that needs to be attended to and cleaned up and not just covered over, and then flying a little plane over top with a big banner that says, "This is terrific and so healthy for the environment. We're doing great here, folks. This is going perfect. This is exactly what I had in mind for this oasis, just filled with trash, and you know, we're just going to look away and we're just going to lie about it, and then that's going to fix everything. Assuredly, definitely, certainly will do that." It's just fucking bananas. And this is advice to do this. Big advice out there in the world. Just slap an affirmation on top of it. Just keep reminding yourself a bazillion times a day. Program yourself like you're some kind of fucking robot, cyborg or something. How's that going, by the way? Is it working? I mean, I guess if it's working for somebody, like, for real, okay, but something tells me probably not. Something tells me that something might be rotten in the state of Denmark underneath, you know, all those banners and the airplanes. Say, "This is terrific," and it isn't. Just don't look down, or anywhere else for that matter. Just bury your head in the sand and make it all go away. Make believe. Toxic positivity. And I've seen, you know, some chat here and there in many forums far and wide across the interwebs. Some people saying, everything is considered toxic now. It's like, no. All these buzzwords, the toxicity is a buzzword. No, I mean, it certainly can be used that way by toxic people. It's used, I mean, appropriately, it's used to discern the healthy version, the homogeneous version of something, the proactively homogeneous genomic expression, self-actualization, mutual reciprocity to whomever, your compatriots and community and whatnot, you know, so long as it's not a nightmare community, in which case, you know, disentangling and all that, and enlightenment of the, you know, what's going on in there might be advisable, helpful. Yeah, so the whole toxic thing, saying something's toxic. Well, because you can have your healthy version and you can have your aberration version. That which is not healthy. That which, you know, bizarrely kind of keeps this toxic Faustian bargain of a system going in all the many ways, shapes, and forms that these systems can take place, both in, you know, internally, individually, collectively, interpersonally, institutionally, and beyond. Toxic positivity. As a matter of fact, I was speaking about this very sort of thing with a friend of mine, Special Agent Luna. And instead of relating what she said, I'm just going to play the voice memo of what she said, because we've got that here in the archives. And we'd also like to be having her come on and have a talk here one of these days here coming up. So this might be a good way to kind of introduce her. And we've already discussed this preemptively. She knows. She knows that. She knows this is what's going on. She said, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Let's do that. So we're going to do that. Anyway, here's a message. Special Agent Luna about toxic positivity.
Anyway, yeah, toxic positivity, thing. Toxic growth, a thing. Toxic spirituality, also a thing. And you can do the work toxically. Like, you could do everything in the same freaking sluggish, unhelpful way where it's just like, oh, well, I'm just going along with some little, like, Buddha post comments that I saw on Facebook. Oh, I'll save a couple pictures to my phone and read them every so often. And that's all the inner work I really need to do, you know. Or like, I meditate by spending 5 minutes off my phone once a day. And that's my me time. Like, no. The work isn't doing the pleasant, fun stuff that everyone wants to do. It's not like reading these cute memes or, you know, watching a video and then being like, oh, like I'm done now, right? It's the equivalent of like a heavily obese, super unhealthy person with a load of illnesses having carrot for breakfast one morning and then being like, well, I'm freaking tired of forcing myself to do the work. Like, that's not how it works, you know? And the majority of us in spiritual forms of, like, undealt with stuff are freaking heavily obese and unhealthy. You know, the majority of us have a ton of toxic patterns built up. We have, like, all of this jargon that was taught to us by our parents and society that we have just been blindly accepting and functioning by for almost our entire lives, you know, apart from when we were like kids and we were just absorbing it. From the absorption stage, like probably from like 7 years old, pretty much all of us have been functioning on this toxic patterning. So we are, spiritually speaking, heavily obese, very unhealthy people. You know, it's not something that can just be done easy. And I think a lot of people have the wrong idea about inner work and healing. And I think a lot of people get taught projection and healing. You know, part of going on my healing journey is loads of people trying to get me to hyper focus on all the stuff that other people are doing. Like, like what did your parents do to, you know, make you do this? How is it their fault? Like, what did your ex-partner do? Like, it's definitely their fault. Like, you didn't do anything wrong. It wasn't you. It's not your fault. None of the blame's on you. Everything's okay. La-di-da-di-da. Like, let's all skip down the road holding hands until we trip over our own freaking feet. Right? Like, this is like this thing where people want to like coddle you and coddle your growth as if you're not capable of accepting the truth that's blatantly right in front of your face. Like, yeah, some of the stuff that's gone on is my freaking fault. The fact that I like put myself in situations to be treated in the ways that I've been treated, yeah, that's my fault. It may not have been me who taught me to be like that, but it is on me to figure that out and change it. Like, no one else is going to come in and do that for me. And that's, like, the work that people don't want to do. It's so easy to just label the other people around us and what was wrong with them, or, like, pity party ourselves, feel sorry about it. But not many people want to turn around and face shit, you know? I see it on Facebook. There's someone I follow called something the poet. I'll remember in a minute and I'll send his page to you. But a lot of the stuff he shares really triggers those toxic positivity people. Those like ignorant, I've watched YouTube videos about the flow of the universe. I even had one woman tell me, like, I'm an indigenous person. What, because she has, like, ancestors who are indigenous? Like, she's not an indigenous person herself. No, she's like, I have ancestry. Like, yeah, I've got Native American heritage, too. If I go move to America, I'll get money off of tax because of it, right? I've got Native American heritage, too. That doesn't make me a freaking Native person. And everyone just needs to, like, step their game up a little bit. There's so many toxic ideas going around, like this idea that we're all one. Like, yeah, we're all connected. Yes, we're all part of the same species and we vibrate together and everything like that. But if we were one, we would literally be like a Cronenberg mass functioning as one. We are not one. We are separate beings for a good reason. You know, the whole separation thing is like serving a purpose. It's the same as like saying like, oh, all plants and animals are one. Like, no, they're not one. They are separate, different functioning beings, separate from each other. Yes, maybe like all dogs are the same species, and you can generalize that learning particular things will help you get along with dogs better, but use like try and deal with a dog who's been domesticated its whole life in the same way you would a wild dog, and you're gonna have freaking problems. And it's that dumb idea as well of like, oh, we're all one. And then like the other thing is that everyone is just a reflection of themselves. Like everyone that you see is just a reflection of you and your own inner self. Like that is absolute BS. Like, yes, we're able to understand the world better around us because of these reflections. We're able to understand the world better around us the more we understand ourselves. And in that way, our understandings of other people is a reflection of our understanding of ourselves. Yeah. So there's some kind of truth in there. But like, not everyone we see is a reflection of ourselves. And it's just such a dumb thing to hear. And I get so fed up with it, right? Because if everyone we see is a reflection of ourselves, I wouldn't see fat people because I'm really underweight. Like, I'm probably not. I'm like getting towards healthy now, right? But I've never been overweight in my life. I would literally just not see fat people if that was a true statement, or shorter than me, because they'd all have to be like me, right? Wouldn't see men because I'm a woman. It's just a really dumb principle. And then stuff like that doesn't pertain or relate to my character at all. You know, seeing people get like really irate at like pubs and stuff, and they're all like, "Oh, you insults, blah blah," like, yeah, fight me or something. Like, I don't see that and experience that as a reflection of something inside myself. Like, if anything, that's like lacking in me. My chat shit ability is really minimal. Just the entire principle is so dumb. And the second you like think it through, it's like, oh, this is just people who have like seen a few YouTube videos of people doing the whole, oh, everything in the whole world is love and light and beautiful, and then you just think wonderful positive thoughts and you have all the wonderful positive feelings in the world, like you only experience the purest love and light. Maybe if you live on a freaking island separated from everyone else in the world, that could be true. But seriously, I don't think there are many people out there just telling the honest truth about the spirituality and growth and everything that it entails, especially the spirit world. Like, there's so many, like, everything's love and light people out there. Like, no, everything is a combination. There is no light without darkness, and you can't just accept one and not the other. So when you go on about shadow work, like, yeah, that's really important. Like, all the denied aspects of ourselves. And here I've gone on about it for like 8 minutes because this stuff winds me up. I'm fed up of hearing all the like dumb, fake crud. So yeah, make a video on it. Make a video debunking all this like BS, lazy, freaking toxic spirituality stuff, and I'll just be sending that to people. Next time they try and tell me, oh, we're all connected, everyone's all one, and like the loving, flowing web of life.
I suppose she didn't suspect that when she was saying this that she'd be assisting with greatly with what she was talking about at the end there. And there's plenty more to be said about this topic, especially, and many more. And we're likely going to be doing precisely that. But anyway, I think that's about it for this one. So, thanks for tuning in, and until next time.